Welcome back to the Real Estate 401k Show. I'm your host, Mike Weinstein, alongside Justin Frederick and Ryan Gerdes down at the end. So it's story time. So go ahead and text the word story to 623-AZ-RECON. That's story to 623-AZ-RECON. We want you part of the family of so many of our podcast listeners who text into the show and end up making an incredible decision on that path to building wealth in real estate. And we'd love to talk about you. All right, Ryan, what do you got?
Well, so we moved into our house about 14 years ago, and our neighbors have a son and a daughter, and their daughter was the youngest, and I think she was like in 7th or 8th grade or something like that when we first moved in. And so she was like our next door neighbor babysitter for our kids, because our kids are whatever, 8 years younger than her and whatnot. And so I've got to see her grow up, right? And it's been a really cool thing. It's just a solid family, you know. It's just one of the, you know, those people that just, you know, I mean, they're the true definition of a good neighbor, you know. And so got to watch both those kids grow up. Well, about 6 months ago, the daughter came to me and said, "Hey, look, you know, going to get married, and we want to buy a home." And I have no idea what that looks like. Those
are the best conversations.
I don't know what to expect. You know, she's in her early 20s, and she's, you know, I just need you to walk me through it. And I said, okay, well, I can pretty easily teach you how to buy a home, but that's not necessarily what I do. What I do is I teach people how to make money through real estate. And organically, you end up buying some real estate that you need to put a roof over your head with. So that's where we usually start, right? You're probably going to put a roof over your head before you buy an investment property. So, but there's no reason why we can't buy a home that puts a roof over your head that can't potentially in the future make some money for you. Planted that seed, and then about a month later, we sat down and talked again because they weren't quite ready. And she was just like, "Man, Ryan, all I can think about is how we can make money off of real estate and how we can best position ourselves for an investment property." And I'm like, of course, that's music to my ears. And so that seed germinated into a nice, fully, you know, beautifully bloomed tree, because that's all that they focus on now. Now, about a month and a half ago, we go shopping, right? And we go and we look at a couple of things, and they're nice and whatnot. And we're running numbers on them. And the numbers are okay to shitty. But then we run into one that has a guest house in the back, and she's like, "Oh my God, this is kind of like a duplex situation. So we could rent out one and live in the other." And I'm like, "Exactly." And she's like, "So we could rent out the small house and live in the big house." And I'm like, "Or you could even live in the small house and rent out the big house, you know, like it just kind of depends on what you guys are trying to accomplish." Oh my God. So like, so we put down an offer on it and had a pretty good bloodbath of a negotiation on it, which I love. And got it under contract, and yesterday, New Year's Day, handed over the keys.
Sweet.
It's pretty badass. So they're in a really good spot. They have the casita can easily rent out for about $1,400 a month. The main house could probably do about $2,600 to $2,700 a month. And so that's going to add a lot of flexibility to their budget.
And they got incredible views.
They have unbelievable views. So it backs right up to South Mountain, and there's no power lines in the way. It's just you know, there's all these cool little rock faces, and you know, it's kind of tucked into a little like of this saddle it's unbelievable. So I'm just pumped for them. So I feel like I got to watch, you know, her grow up.
That's amazing,
and
man.
Now like taking that first step, you know, first chapter into being a real estate investor.
Have you ever thought about, either one of you guys, what it's going to be like to hand the keys for the first time to one of your children?
I haven't.
I mean, I think I'm going to cry like a baby.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I know.
It's going to be awesome.
So that
this is
happened.
where we work and live.
That happened New Year's Day. So that's
Happy New Year's, buddy.
Yeah, that's my story.
Were they gone?
What do you mean?
Were they on a trip or something?
No.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering because what did we fund on Tuesday?
Oh, he was in one of those races where he ran like 45 miles.
Oh,
on New Year's
geez,
Day.
he's one of those guys.
He's one of those guys.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Hey,
Good for him.
I don't like him now. I used to like him, but I don't like him now.
But you're crazy, yeah. A bigger version of Nick.
So we couldn't find a notary to run alongside him, and as he's racing, he's signing docs.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was signed the night before.
So my story's same kind of story, same people. Yeah, Ryan did a great job. You guys did a great job on that. Got him under contract. You guys got an incredible amount of concessions. Got the house for a great deal. Getting the deal, I remember that Ryan played real hardball with the listing agent. And
Ryan's sending me updates as he's doing this, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, that's just what Ryan does, man."
So I called. Well, Ryan and I had a conversation. So I called and.
By the way, Aaron, you're great.
You're amazing.
I just, we
love it.
I had to do. I wasn't able to be on your side.
She understands. I think she understands. So Ryan played bad cop. I played good cop. I called and went through all the good stuff and tried to work a little charm, and so we ended up getting the deal, and we get the appraisal back. Appraisal has some subject twos, but
what a shit show.
That was rough because we were trying to do a seller holdback at the end, and by guidelines, the seller holdback requires an as-is appraisal for no questions to be asked by underwriting for a seller holdback. And we got a subject to. And we got that subject to Christmas Eve.
Yeah, like a week before close.
Christmas Eve, yeah. We ordered the appraisal late trying to get through the Benzer. But they ended up getting us the appraisal back in time. So Christmas Eve, I'm cooking dinner. And we're on a 3-way call with Erin, the listing agent, and she ripped me up a good one. She was just emotional about it, and I get it. And we had a date that we were trying to close by, and so we ended up pulling everything together within probably an hour and figuring everything out, getting roofer out to the house, getting handyman to sign off on.
And getting everyone off their ass on Christmas Eve.
Right, getting somebody to answer the damn phone.
Yeah.
Was difficult enough. We had people that we knew calling people that they knew that we knew, trying to get them on the phone so we could get one of their employees out. Just trying to get anybody and everybody.
It was a symphony of networking.
It was. And we probably had 4 3-way calls that day between Ryan and the listing agent and myself. But yeah. We ended up getting everything that we needed, pulling it off. Prior to the weekend, we got our clear to close. So the day after Christmas, we got the file submitted, got our clear to close Monday morning. It ended up being Monday morning for a funding on Tuesday, right before New Year's.
Yeah.
And it was a fast closing, but worked out really good. We ended up. I don't think I even told you because of the title proration or the tax prorations and the title adjustments. We ended up giving her an 1/8% lower on the rate.
Badass.
So that was pretty cool. She got a low 6 on the interest rate in a market that wasn't calling for it. So good job.
I got to see her for the final walkthrough, which was either Sunday or Monday. I don't remember which day. And when she got out of the car, I mean, she was just all smiles. I mean, she's like, we are so excited about this. So my story doesn't involve them.
Good.
That's just a good lesson. This is just a good lesson for buyers out there. And going back to your guys' story, there is no such thing as a transaction that runs 100% smooth. There's always hiccups. There's always challenges, and experience matters, and who you choose to represent you absolutely matters. But Ryan and I, we're working on a buyer, a couple. We just we got them from our team up in the Vegas area. They just sold their house, and so it's really interesting. And because I brought one of our newer agents along. And for a training opportunity, and I just had explained to her, you don't know what a buyer is going to get hung up on. Like, this is my thing. I don't care about anything else. This is my one thing that this house has to include. And for them, and it makes sense, they got a lot of toys. They had a big RV garage up in Vegas, and so their thing is we need a house with some land. We'd like a minimum of an acre. We either need an RV garage or we need room to build an RV garage. And it's hard to tell when you're taking a look at plat maps and pictures and so forth. So I took them up. A couple days up in the New River area, spent a day out in Wickenburg. And so the story takes place in Wickenburg. So find this house. It's on a hill. And I am telling you guys, I have looked at, like you guys, thousands of homes. This by far the best view I've ever seen. We're talking about a 360-degree view of everything. It's absolutely amazing. But this particular house, the way it was like 6 acres, not 6 acres. Well, it might have been 6 acres, but the buildable footprint was only where the
Oh, really?
house was because of the hill.
Because
of the hill. So there's nowhere to put an RV garage without, all of this excavation and so forth. So on the way up to see the house, we drove past the house down the hill that had a for sale sign on, and that agent couldn't have been any more amicable. Called her up, said, "Hey, I know this is last minute, but we're in the area." So she met us down there to open up the gate, and definitely did not have an RV garage, but definitely there was space and there was room. Now, keep in mind the house is in an HOA. And so the natural assumption was, oh, well, look at all this space. I can build an RV garage. Well, that's where a lot of buyers can really get into the weeds, not necessarily going through, you go through the HOA documents, but going through the CCNRs, but also going with the county as far as excavation rules and trees and things like that. So they were looking around going, well, these neighbors have RV garages, and so this one has space. So, hey, no brainer. We're just going to build an RV garage. And I'm like, hold up here. We've got to look into these things. And after doing some homework and some research, it wasn't going to be doable with the excavation rules and the CCNRs, because it would have had to been attached to the building because each property can only have 2 buildings, and it wasn't I mean, but she could have gotten the keys to a house without us, and then start the process of getting the permits and building the RV garage, only to find out, no bueno. So
good for you. Good job.
So lesson learned.
Yeah.
All right, so we would love for you to be part of the stories. If you would like some strategies and just understanding the process and how to navigate, not only how to get the best deal and how to negotiate concessions, but really navigating the issues that can arise, we want you to text the word story to 623-AZ-RECON. That's story to 623-AZ-RECON. All right, first week of 2025 for us. Ryan, you are up. It is Friday.
So you guys already know what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna throw a little curveball at you.
I could barely handle the original.
Okay.
I don't know if I can do a curveball right now.
And I'm gonna throw a curveball because I know that you're gonna hate this question, because I know that you hate New Year's resolutions. But every single year, you always throw something out there. You're like, I was thinking I might try to do better at this or try to do that, whatever. So, first off, do you have any New Year's resolutions?
All right. So what I always say is I'm anti New Year's resolutions, but I'm more focused on like specific goal setting.
Sure.
Like I'd rather just say, hey, for 2025, these are my goals. And I do not want you, if I answer this, do not ask when the last time it was that I went.
Okay.
But literally, my goal for Q1 is actually to schedule a doctor's appointment, a eye doctor's appointment, and a dermatologist, just to figure out where the hell this body is at.
Okay.
Right?
That's a good one.
But that's
What about
good.
dentist?
And dentist.
Okay,
Yes,
all right.
and dentist.
Yeah, might
yes.
as well go the game.
Well, my teeth haven't hurt in the last 3 months, so I think I'm good for a while.
How about you?
I gotta find a dentist. That was.
I'll shoot
one of
you
my
over my
goals.
dentist.
Yeah?
He's awesome.
I don't know if you know this about me. We drive so much during work, right? I have a half-mile radius when I'm not working that I only want to travel within a half mile.
Me too.
So when it's my time, I want convenience and but they got to be good too. So that luckily there's a lot of offices around.
If you're willing to drive a little bit more than a half mile, it's by my house. He's a good dude, and it's they're on point.
Send them over.
Okay.
Send them over.
All right.
Next thing I want to do is I really want to find a family this year. I know you can go do all these, and I'm talking about for the holidays. I want to find a family this year that I can take my kids to, because we didn't do it the last year or the year before, to take my kids to help out for holiday season.
Cool.
I gotta find a family this year, and it's weighing on me that I didn't do it the last 2 years, and I just feel like
I'll shoot you.
I
over,
feel like a
I'll
shitty
shoot
person.
you over my address.
So
good.
along with that, I just want to be a better person. You know?
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm probably at like a second grade level of Spanish,
Okay.
and I'd like to get it like a fourth or a fifth grade level.
That's cool.
So, we have a good friend of ours named Maximilian. He speaks all kinds of different languages. He's over the top smart. And so we were hanging out with him about a week ago, and I was telling him this, and I was like, this year I'm gonna focus on getting better at my Spanish. And so he's like, oh, dude, this app right here is what I use to learn these other 3 languages, and this is what they give to the military that like to prepare them to go into different countries, etc. You should check it out. So I
Send me that
downloaded
app.
it. I will. It's called Pinsler. So downloaded it, paid for it, and so I've already been messing around with it. Most of the stuff I already know, but I think that it just tries to start you off slow, just kind of brush you up on some things. So excited to be better at that by the end of this year. So
Cool.
to quantify it, or qualify it, I want to be at like a 4th or a 5th grade
Muy
level.
bueno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
That's all he knows, guys.
I can count to 10, pal.
Yeah, he knows how to say no.
So does my wife.
All right, so recommendations, because most people's resolutions have to do with somehow getting better with the health or whatever, or maybe they just like to be outside more because the weather's nice, and 6 months out of the year we're all cooped up inside of an office or a home or a car with AC. I personally love going hiking. I love being outside. I love being on the trails, whatever that looks like. And so, Mike, what's your favorite outdoor trail?
Shoot, you said outdoor. I was hoping we were going to just stay with trail because
There's an
my
indoor trail?
No, it's the steps that leads down to my basement where where I keep everything. No, I don't. Okay, I did give this some thought. I don't know the name of it because I don't know the names of anything. But there's this one trail, and I like it because it's incredibly close to the house. It's flat, but it's pretty long, a circular trail, and it's right off Tatum. Just south of Mayo Boulevard, or just south of the 101. When you're driving down Tatum, you see a small parking lot, and everybody's there. But I love it because part of the time you're walking and you're just in the desert and you can see everything. And then they got just a lot of tall trees and brush, and so you feel like you're kind of hidden.
Right.
And then and it's a great trail for your dogs. And then when you make the loop and you're coming back, there's just a little hideaway that's got. I'm not going to call it a lake, maybe an
reservoir.
oversized pond. And you can just sit, and it's just so you just feel like you get all kinds of different scenery, and it's a good hike. So, and it's convenient, and it's close. So when we say, hey, let's just go for a hike and take the dog, boom, it's just right up the street.
Yep.
Are you going with Squaw Peak?
No.
No? Okay. I just wanted to. I love Squaw Peak.
Squaw Peak's fun.
I love
did it
Squaw
last
Peak.
week.
I think it's a great hike. It's convenient. It's the views are spectacular. You get a good look at the city. But I'm gonna go with Thunderbird Park.
That's a good one.
I love it. It's short, but you can really get into it. You can go a little faster pace. It's not so much of a climb. But it's like I said, it's convenient for me, and there's multiple trails, so you can take a trail that can take you 2 hours, and you can take a trail that takes you 45 minutes. So I'm gonna go with that one. I really like that one.
Yeah. So I have a bunch of different trails that I do, but the one that I do the most, I'm not going to call it my favorite, but It's right behind my house, so for the same purposes, it's why I usually do that.
I hate that one.
Trail 100.
The one that you took, the one that you took me on that one day, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this sucks.
Do you like any of them? I mean,
I enjoy hiking, but I mean, I don't want to feel like I'm summiting Mount Everest.
Yeah, I think it's only like 1,000-foot elevation gain, but there's some parts that'll kick your ass. But overall, it's like a 5-mile loop. So I do that one. Hell, I did it this morning. Do that one all the time. But my favorite one is Echo over at Camelback Mountain.
okay.
That one, I mean, that will kick your ass. I don't really care where you're.
You mean
at.
the one that Nick does 4 times before 11 o'clock?
But he's outside of his mind.
Outside of his mind.
I don't know why he does that, but yeah, that's my favorite one. It has the best views. I hate the parking situation. I hate how many people are on it. But the trail itself, if you can get out there during a slow time, then it's the most picturesque. It has all kinds of just different things to navigate, but yeah, it'll get you.
What's the elevation change on that one? It's got to be pretty
A
significant.
couple
right?
thousand,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, a couple like 2,100 or something like that. If
Yeah.
memory serves me correctly. Anyhow, that's mine.
All right, there you go. Our favorite trails, favorite hiking, and story time. Again, we'd love to have you part of the family, part of our story, and we'd love to have a conversation with you about how to build wealth in real estate. All you got to do is text the word story to 623AZ Recon. That's story to 623AZ Recon.